Veterans, honored guests. I'm Captain Don Hayes, Jr., United States retired, and the son of Colonel Don Hayes. I'm honored today to speak for our family as we recognize our dad for his significant contributions to our country while serving in the greatest military in the world, and for his contributions to the successes of our family. First, I'd like to thank General Graham and those who assisted him for setting up this dedication ceremony. It's also an honor to have so many military warriors and their families in attendance today. Colonel Hayes followed in the steps of his father, Lieutenant Colonel Paul Hayes, United States Army retired. Lieutenant Colonel Paul Hayes was a true warrior with 30 years of active and reserve service, to include fighting in the Korean conflict and fighting in both theaters during World War II. During World War II, Lieutenant Colonel Paul Hayes escaped from a Japanese POW camp and returned home to Oklahoma as a true hero. Lieutenant Colonel Paul Hayes earned the Silver Star and 5 Purple Hearts during his career. Following in his father's Army boots, Colonel Hayes graduated from the Officer Candidate School and continued his service in the Army as an infantry officer. In 1963, Colonel Hayes was selected to attend Army Aviation Fixed Wing Training in Fort Rucker, Alabama, where upon graduation he was assigned to the 101st Airborne Division, Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Colonel Hayes served tours of duty in Vietnam, flying over 2,000 combat hours in the UH-1 Huey, AH-1 Cobra, OH-58 Kiowa, O-1 Bird Dog, to name a few, and earning the Distinguished Flying Cross, the Bronze Star, and the Air Medal with 23 Oak Leaf clusters. Colonel Hayes continued his career as an Army aviator, earning the Senior Army Aviator Wings rating. During his 30-plus years of service in the U.S. Army, Colonel Hayes commanded aviation units and served as a staff officer at all levels of command. Colonel Hayes was admired and respected by the troops he commanded and worked. My mom passed on the story of how many of his men from Vietnam stated they would follow Major Hayes to hell and back. I would consider that one of the highest compliments a leader could receive from their troops. However, the thing that I noticed, more than the admiration and respect the troops showed Colonel Hayes, was the admiration and respect that Colonel Hayes showed toward every person he commanded. He taught me early in my military career that the backbone of the military unit is the enlisted troops, and treating them with respect will earn you the respect that you deserve. Other recognitions and awards earned by Colonel Hayes include numerous foreign awards while serving as the commanding officer of the 334th Attack Helicopter Company, Hanau, Germany, Legion of Merit, induction into the Oklahoma Military Hall of Fame, Meritorious Service Medal, Army Commendation Medal, and induction into the Black Hawk Tribe, and considered a Black Hawk Chief after flying performing a loop in the S-67 Black Hawk. Colonel Hayes is an outstanding military officer and dedicated to his country, but he is also dedicated to his family. Married to Deanne Hayes for almost 60 years, I cannot think of a period of time when our dad was not around, except for military duties, to support and guide us as we move forward in life. For my brother and me, Colonel Hayes was always the first to volunteer to coach the football team, the basketball team, the baseball team. And though the primary reason he coached was probably to ensure my brother and I got a lot of playing time, he undeniably made a positive impact on the lives of hundreds of young boys in a very influential time in their lives. At the same time, Colonel Hayes volunteered as the scoutmaster for our Boy Scout troop for many years, pushing my brother and me along to ensure we both earned the rank of Eagle Scout. A tremendous influence and inspiration for my brother and me, but also a positive influence and inspiration for the hundreds of scouts also involved in the troop. I can guarantee that there are hundreds of men in the world today that could look back on their lives and say that Colonel Hayes had a positive effect on their lives and influenced them to be a successful person in life. A great example that many of you might be familiar, Major General Clark LeMasters, recent commander of the 13th Sustainment Command at Fort Hood, was a member of Colonel Hayes' scout troop at Fort Meade, Maryland in the late 70s. Finally, in this day and age, there's always the asterisk that goes along with every award and recognition. And I'd like to add an asterisk to this dedication. Though we have gathered today to honor our father and dedicate this plaque in Korean recognition of his military service, I'm not sure that he would have been quite as successful without our mom, Deanne, by his side for 60 years. As all of you here know and understand, when the soldier is called to duty to protect our country, someone has to step up and be the man of the house. During combat tours in Vietnam, for numerous 2-week training exercises, for late-night meetings, weekends filled with military stuff, and just days when 14 hours of military duty was enough for the day, Deanne was the man of the house taking care of 4 children. And though her name is not on the plaque and her military decorations are few, I know Colonel Hayes recognizes, and our entire family recognizes, the sacrifices she has made and the inspiration she has been in making not only Colonel Hayes but the entire family successful, proud Americans, and proud members of the military community. Colonel Hayes, okay. Colonel Hayes and Deanne continue to be inspiration to our family. They provide much support to the troops assigned to Fort Hood, and in fact, there's probably not a single soldier or at Fort Hood who has not hit a golf ball donated by Colonel Hayes. They have attended the high school and college graduation of all 4 kids, and now they continue that tradition by having attended the high school and college graduations of 7 grandkids with 1 to go. They continue to provide unwavering support to our family and provide guidance and inspiration that would be hard to match, and for that we thank you. Colonel Hayes, Dad, though of small monetary value, the purpose of this plaque and this ceremony is to thank you in a small way for your dedication, your commitment to service, and your willingness to put your life on the line so that we can live in the greatest country in the world. Thank you for your service, and thank you for your continued dedication to our family.